Plymouth has won the toss. They will look at the receive. They will defend the east goal. Trinity will check and defend the west goal.
And we bring you D2 semifinal football here in America's Classic. I'll tell you, it's Trinity Pioneers, the number 2 seed, hosting the Plymouth Bobcats, the number 3 seed. Teams are coming in. They're hot. They know each other. They played once all season. Dale, Coach, what do you see about this game?
Playoffs. You know, what else can you say? Everything is magnified here. Trinity, saw them last Friday, had a great win over Hanover. Plymouth, not familiar with them on the varsity level. However, at the youth level where I am coaching currently, have seen them a couple of times. So very disciplined, looking very forward to this.
Yeah, sure. All right, Plymouth has a run identity team. That's a great catch, retreating right there by Plymouth on the back pedal right there. Good job, good hands by Bryson Stone. He's an excellent receiver, and he's also a great runner. Goes up the field. That's a terrific opening kickoff return that backed him up to the goal line, and he gets outside the 30. Plymouth will start 1st and 10 right there. They come in at 10-1 overall. They were 9-1 in the regular season. Trinity 9-1, 8-1 at the 2 seed, coached by Rob Cathcart, and the Bobcats. Generation after generation, it's Bobcat football. Chris Sanborn took over from the great Chuck Linehan. What a legacy right there, Coach.
Absolutely. You know, Coach Linehan is a legend in New Hampshire with what he was able to do up at Plymouth, and they seem to have kept right on rolling.
All right, and Caven Sanborn, the coach's son, is under center. He wears number 16 to start the game. We'll talk about him in a minute. He's a multi-talented athlete, but one of the guys you got to give it to is the senior captain, Ben Valente. He is second in all of D2 in rushing with 798 yards for the regular season. Ran it up last week, and we will talk more about that. On 1st and 10, they gained 7, make it 2nd down and 3. No gain on 2nd down, maybe even lost a foot or so. The refs say he gained a foot. Move it out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2. Pretty good chunk start right there for Plymouth. You want to stay ahead of the chains no matter who you are.
Absolutely. You know, great first play. Hit Trinity right up the middle. Last week they struggled early against the run against Hanover, but they were able to tighten it up in the second half. And then they tried to go a little quick, try to catch Trinity off guard on the second play. Trinity was ready for it, so we'll see what happens here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Cathcart yesterday morning, and coach to coach, we had a good discussion. We are outside on the roof here, and that's a great job. Little misdirection, and Valente, he's a powerful bruising type of runner, and he looks like he picks up about 7 yards on 3rd and 2, moving into Trinity territory at the 49-yard line. Nice start, huh?
Yeah, it is. The wing tee offense that Plymouth is running, on defense, you have to stay home. You can't just flow automatically from the backside. You got to stay home and expect something coming back until the ball gets past you.
Right, and they're good at misdirection. Once they'll set it up, and then you got a key. Remember your keys. Stay home. And Coach Cathcart was hoping that they could get up into the box and even get into the backfield and get the first hit. So far, not so good. But there you go. They jammed up the box that time. They stayed home and on their keys. And even as bruising a runner as Valente is, nice stop right there, Coach.
Absolutely. It was a great play by the linebacker that time, number 15, coming in there, Logan Marsh. And he read what was coming out and was able to blow it up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was Foden, Alejandro Foden. Is 15 for Trinity right there. And Coach Cathcart said he's a heart and soul player. And he said he will just bring it, maybe not run up the stats, but he's one of those guys that's glue, gets everybody going. Here, yet another handoff. As I said, it's a run game. Here goes Valente. He gets through 2nd level, 3rd level. He's shifty and strong, and he fires his way down inside the 10, navigates his way and into the end zone. Holy cow, 49-yard run at 9:24 in the first quarter, and the Bobcats do what they do best. They go yard and get it into the end zone for 6. What a run there, Coach.
That was a great run that time. Valente took it off the left side, found a crease to cut back, and when he did, there was just open field. And once he got into the open field, there was one man to beat, and he kind of turned him around a little bit with the juking back and forth, and then gave the big stiff arm at the end to get in the end zone.
That was wonderful. How many jukes did he give him along the way?
3 or 4, almost reminiscent of a Barry Sanders type run back in the day.
Well, I grew up in the D.C., Maryland area, so I was Riggins a fan. And he had moves. He was a track star as well as a bruiser. And that's a nice kick right there. That thing got high, tight, and that thing got up in a hurry. That was a high-quality kick. Add on one, and it's 7-zip early.
Yeah, great kick, especially into the wind here, blowing from right to left across the TV dial. And now we have to see what Trinity has to respond to this. It was a quick drive by Plymouth, and now we have to see what the Pioneers can do to respond.
Well, Trinity's only lost during the season. I said they were 9-1 coming in. They lost 46-14 to this Bobcats team. Now, that was up on their field up north, and they were coming out of the mega drought right there. The field was choppy and tough, but it was an overwhelming first-half performance by the Bobcats, and I think it was kind of said and done. Trinity showed some life early in the second half, but the Pioneers were unable to thwart this beastly line and the running backs. They run by committee. 6 of them can get the job done from anywhere.
Yeah, when you have that kind of depth at the running back position and you've got an offensive line made out of bulldozers, that you pretty much control every game that you're in.
There we go. Well, I got a John Deere dozer at the farm, and some of their pulling guards look like they can do the same job there. All right, kicking off here. That's Bryson Stone. He kind of does everything for them. Receiver extraordinaire, return man, kicker, you name it.
Stone, the short kickoff. Dom Tone's gonna fair catch it at the 40.
Yeah, that was almost a little looping. It's an interesting kick. It just drops dead at the 40. And
little pooch kick.
Trinity just kind of downs it. I think that's wise. Don't try to return it right there when you got 10 guys in your grill.
Absolutely. Fair catch. Nobody can touch you. Play it. Make the clean catch and play it right there.
Reminds me of an old Bob Marley line. So, he who fight and run away, live to fight another day.
Absolutely.
All right, better we have it than they have it. Trinity sets up shop, down 7-0. 9:24 on the clock. They're at the 40-yard line. 60 yards of green in front of them. First down. All right. There's Ollie Service, all New Hampshire quarterback. Excellent runner, excellent thrower, and they're a big play type of offense, and they want to get out quickly as soon as they got the leather. Mission accomplished on first play. That's a good 16-yard strike right there.
Absolutely. Ollie Service had a great game last week, 4 touchdowns in the second half. He seems to be picking up where he left off. I
shortchanged him a yard. It was 17 yards. There's a nice flare out to the outside, kind of a sideline pattern. Can't get the numerals here. We got blue numerals against red jerseys. Very difficult to read in the glare.
That was number 2, Davey DeRepo.
Yeah,
he was the unsung hero last week.
Wide open down the seam. Holy cow. He's going to go yard. That's Tate Metallic. And in for the TD. And I was just saying, Coach, quick strike. They sure struck back in a hurry.
Absolutely. That's how you answer when somebody comes in and goes down the field the way Plymouth did to open the game. Trinity stepping up, coming right back down the field, showing that this is going to be a different game, hopefully, than the first time they met. Trinity speeding things up on the offensive side as well, going no huddle all the way.
And Bishop is in to attempt the extra point. Kind of a side-style kicker right there. Get the whole flat of the arch of his foot there. That's up and through, and it's true. We go to 7-7. I tell you, it was 9:24 on the clock when the Bobcats scored. I'm not great at math anymore, but 8:49 on the clock. That's getting it done in a hurry, Coach.
Yes, it is. Trinity, like you said, big play offense, 3 strikes, and they were in the end zone.
And you had some. You were on site here last week. Talk about Ollie's service in his first half last week. "Quote unquote," Coach Cathcart said he rose from the dead. What do you mean by that?
He had a good run early in the first quarter and got kind of banged up on the tackle, and he actually came out for most of the first quarter and half of the second quarter and was in concussion protocol. And he was able to clear and come back in. And Davey DeRepo took over the helm on the offense.
And had a TD run while he was in.
Had a TD run, a 2-point conversion run, and was able to steady the ship. And that's why I made the comment he was the unsung hero last week for Trinity, because, when when Ollie Service went out, the wheels could have fell off the wagon.
Sure.
And Davey was able to keep things going. And, when Ollie came back second half, like I said, 4 touchdown runs, and they put the game away pretty quick.
And he had, from what I learned, I wasn't able to see that game last week. I was doing another game. He had a 65-yard TD on a screen pass.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, here comes Bryson Stone one more time. Big, tall, lanky guy. He goes same side. He likes that far side, running right at his teammates. That's usually a comforting thing. I used to be a return guy as well, and I used to love running at my own guys because they'd holler at you going up the field.
Absolutely. Any little bit of help, help and encouragement.
All right, well, it'll be first down and 10 for the Bobcats. They're seated at their own 24-yard line. We are knotted up at 7, 8:42 on the clock after that nice return by Stone.
Yeah, let's see what the Trinity defense kind of adjustments they can make here on this second drive to kind of go against this running game of Plymouth.
Kind of hard to adjust to a bulldozer, though.
It is. But, there's different things you can do. Maybe stunting, blitzing, maybe just getting off their blocks better. There's different things that they can do, and we'll see what the coaching staffs come up with.
Interior of that line for the Bobcats is kind of captained by Libby, literally and spiritually. He is a terrific center. And they go right over Libby into the 2-gap right there. And they surge forward to the Bobcats for, it looks like 6 yards. They're going to give them just inside the 31-yard line. We'll call it 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, the alignment that time by the Trinity defense, they left a pretty big gap on their left side, and Plymouth was able to exploit that for a big run.
And you got a spotter in front of you. Who we got?
That's my son, Isaac.
All right, Isaac, welcome to the team here. He's probably got sharper eyes than we do at our old ages here.
Yes.
Okay, it is 2nd and 4. 8:07 as the clock is winding. We're at Derryfield Park at 7-7, and here comes Valenti one more time. He sheds a tackler, gets outside the 40, up toward midfield and down about the 49-yard line. They're going to give him progress right at the 50. The nose of the ball will be there. Yet another big run by the big fella, number 23.
Yeah, Plymouth has found something on the Trinity defense where the defensive left side, the Plymouth offensive right side, there's a big gap between the tackle and the end, and even though it's a short side of the field, they've been exploiting that. Trinity's overloading the wide side on defense.
And then we'll talk about some adjustments right there. Yeah, nose of the ball on the 50, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Shortening up their field. Sanborn hands off yet again to Valenti. Pretty good choice. You got the big fella. He kind of slipped down right there after gaining 1, make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, tried to make it cut up field and just lost his footing.
Get a little ribbing when you get back to the huddle right there.
Yes.
Did you forget your cleats, fella?
Oh, that's when somebody reaches down, picks up a little bit of turf, and say, yeah, I got it for you.
I like that. All right, 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line of the Pios. Affectionate nickname for the Pioneers. And again, Derryfield Park, Powers Field, home of the Pioneers. And that was a powerful inside run.
Just a quick fullback dive, number 25 that time.
Yeah, that's Brody Russo, one of the 6 guys I was telling you, our folks about. It's almost like plug and play. Anybody just conveyor belt mentality, Ford mentality, interchangeable parts. Just go follow those great pulling linemen.
Yes.
Strong running attack here. All right, we got 3rd down and a long 3 at the 43-yard line. 6:20 on the clock, 7's on the scoreboard. And there goes Rousseau one more time, but you see the surge right there.
Yeah, Plymouth tried to hit backside that time, had to string to their right side, and Trinity was ready for him, stopped him a little bit short. So first big down of the game, 4th and 1.
Yep, first 4th down of our first quarter. 5:55 on the clock. Again, 7's on the board. Rich McDonough, Dale Moutz here for Manchester Public Television. So happy we're here at the park to bring you D2 semifinal action. Winner of this game gets the winner of Salhegan, top seed, and top-ranked Pelham. Should be a good game there today. That's a great surge by the left side of the Trinity line, and that'll be a turnover on downs. That is a major big play early in the game, right, Coach?
That's a big momentum swing right there. That it gives Trinity's defense confidence that they can shut down this Plymouth offense. And now, see if this feeds over into the Trinity offense, see if they can strike big again.
And James Leonard stayed home right there, something you had emphasized, Coach, early on in this game. He stayed home, plugged it up, got some help from his buddy Malith there. And good job by Trinity to stave off a very physical team. All right, 1st and 10 for Trinity at the 41-yard line. Oh, bad snap. Ollie handles it well. And you showed there, he can throw it, he can run, and we got Laundry on the field. Maybe a holding on that play, and Plymouth are pointing at Trinity already.
Yeah, that was a quick call by the official as soon as the flag came in. So now.
Sometimes that happens when you have a funky snap. It delays everything, kind of confuses the rhythm, and somebody's got to hang on to some jersey in order to stay in the play, right?
Yeah, it changes the rhythm, changes the angle sometimes, and somebody moving different than what's expected, and
the gap that was supposed to be there no longer is there.
Right.
So you adapt and overcome, but sometimes you overpull.
Yes.
There we go. All right, well, they'll walk them back to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 20 at the 5:21 mark. The clock runs again after they set the ball and finish off the penalty there. High snap in the shotgun. Service looking long. He goes right side. He's open. If he can get him, he just missed him by a yard. I think he might have bumped into the shoulder pads of the defender, and that slowed his rhythm down just a hair, took him off of his route.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Ollie Service. Great route there. And just inches from being complete.
Yep.
Great play all around down the field.
I think it was DeRepo. He couldn't see from the side there. Service shows his arm right there. No stranger in that family. His brother Jack was a terrific player as well. He was on the All-Star team with my son Mike McDonough, who QB'd for Bishop Girton. All right. 2nd and long, 2nd and 20 after that missed attempt. Tried to get the Bobcats to jump, nothing doing. Back in the shotgun one more time, getting it outside to Metallic. He gets up the line, swerves. Nice job rolling away from a tackle. Finally knocked down right there by Russo. And a good job of Metallic to get upfield, get a chunk of that back. And, it's 3rd and 9, but far better than 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 20.
Yes, get half the penalty yardage back on 2nd down. Now it's right to get the 1st down here.
Give them 12, make it 3rd down and 8, 4:35 on the clock, 7's on the scoreboard. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you commented about Ollie Service. I believe I read this week that he just signed to play Division I baseball.
Well, his brother was a pitcher as well. Only difference was his brother's a lefty, Ollie's a righty. That one had two chins. You had two guys clogged up at the same level. Usually not a great recipe because it brings defenders, right?
Yes. The more receivers you have in an area, the more defenders you have.
There you go.
Tightens up the windows.
Did you catch where he's going?
St. Bonaventure, I believe.
That's good. Good for them. His brother Jack had committed to Pace at a high school to play football there, but then ended up going to St. Peter's. I'm not sure if he's pitching down there, but, multi-talented athletes in the family, probably had a little bit of backyard football going on. All right, back to punt, or the Pioneers are at the 43-yard line. Deep for the Bobcats. Pairing up is Valenti and Russo. Russo lets it go over his head. That's going to roll. Who can win that battle? Will it be the football or the Pioneers? Pioneers win it, and not only at the 1-yard line, they down it about the foot line. Wow.
That took a great bounce for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think Rousseau was kind of gambling in that it was going to die.
Connor Bishop, good punt, good roll, and I think the Pioneers were gambling it was going to go into the end zone, but great coverage that time, and they were able to down it inside the 1.
If the Bobcats knew some of what the lacrosse players know, I've covered lacrosse at this field, it is bouncy turf. It doesn't die. There's soft spots in a lot of fields, some turf, not a whole lot of give. This one has some ping. Okay, pin back right up at their own goal line. 4:10 on the clock. The Bobcats have 99-plus yards to go. Yeah, that's the right decision. Just bullet up the center. And Sanborn does that, follows right over Libby, who is a great center and a strong young man of his own right. That's a good gain, and get some breathing room on 1st down there, right?
Yeah, quarterback sneak for 7 yards. you can't ask for anything better almost from back there.
Yeah, sometimes you just get a yard or two. Now you get 7. It's 2nd and 3. It's just a football game at this point.
Right.
You can call your playbook.
Right. You've got your breathing room that you need. You know, you can, like you said, you can go into anything in the playbook that you want.
I mean, you could even take a chance. This is a running team, but Sanborn, unlike quarterbacks have passed, he can get in the shotgun. He's got a pretty good arm. He had over 700 yards in the regular season slinging the rock. Here we go, 2nd and 3 for the Bobcats. And there goes Valente. Goes inside, bounces it outside to his right. Cutback. He is the cutback kid. Gets outside the 30-yard line, close to the 35, and we got it look like a post-play penalty. We'll see what they call.
Yeah, great run by Valente that time. I think if he doesn't cut back there, if he keeps it outside, he outruns the angle and is still running.
I agree with that.
And now we've got a sideline warning against Trinity.
Wow, you don't see that called very often. I coached lacrosse forever, and we see that a lot. I haven't seen that often in football.
Yeah, just the sideline got a little close to the field, a little anxious. So that's why they give him the warning.
Okay, it was just a warning. So they pick up a flag. It is 1st and 10 after that nice Valente run. I mean, he's going to be somewhere around the 100-yard mark already, courtesy of that long 49-yard touchdown run. But here we go, 35-yard line, 1st and 10, 2:54 on the clock. 7's on the scoreboard here at Derryfield Park. Mirroring that goal line run, here we go. Sanborn goes up the middle. And again, at the bottom of the pile is Libby.
Yeah, aside from the last drive, just about everything for Plymouth has been forward.
And I got to say, really good, powerful blocking, yeah, by Libby, but also by Braley inside. Just moving that Trinity line. I mean, they were 2 yards back. Their heels were back within a split second of that snap. Probably a good recipe.
Yeah, that's one thing that we found with Plymouth on the youth level even, that, you know, everybody is disciplined. They get off the ball very quickly. You know, that's one of those things you teach from youth all the way up through the high school level. And
it's ingrained in your DNA, but ingrained on the field as a 4-yard run, 44-yard line, 2nd and 6. And this time it's Ciotti. I watched this guy. I tell you, he had a run-of-the-mill 5-yard run in their first game, but he had the entire pack on his back and went for 24. And I swear, 15 to 20 of those yards were with 4 or 5 guys on his back and trying to push him back. Powerful. Again, all these backs are powerful.
Yeah, when you get somebody who can move the pile like that, you know, it just aids your offense that much more.
There we go. Well, he had 33 carries for 258 in the regular season, would go and 3 touchdowns to go with him. And here comes Rousseau again. That's good tackling. Gang, grab a hold of something solid and then bring some friends, right, Coach?
Yes. If you can't make the tackle, hold on and let your buddies come and help you.
Yeah, and then good lateral pursuit from the backside there.
Yeah, it looks like the running back, when he came through, he tried to cut it up inside, but it was blocked. You know, the hole was sealed up, and then he tried to bounce, but Trinity was there.
And here we got another 4th and short. It's about 4th and I'd say a yard and a half as we've ticked under the 1-minute mark. They will have to get off a play here, 40 seconds remaining. And here's another gut check right here, Coach.
Yeah, let's see what Trinity's defense has here, if they can get off the field again.
Oh, and the ball hit the dirt. I guess there's no dirt, but we'll take rubber and grass. And there's a fumble, and it's going over to Trinity. Wow, yet another huge 4th down play by Trinity Pioneers defense, and getting up, flexing James Leonard yet again.
Yeah, it looked like Connor Bishop was on the bottom of that as well. I think he came out of the pile with the football. But,
all right.
You know, as soon as the ball hit the ground, you know, it was a turnover on downs either way. So great job by the Pioneers, and see if they can get something else here before the end of the quarter, before they go into the win, as opposed to having it at their back.
Well, I'll tell you, I, for one, was looking at that first drive. Overwhelming, powerful drive. I said it's going to be a replay. Trinity said no dice. We're on our home turf here, and they took some momentum back. Fun to watch. All right, 1st and 10. Who was jumping and who wasn't? I think the Pios were moving first there, Coach.
Yeah.
Yep. We got a false start call.
Yeah. Plymouth went into almost a full line shift, and Trinity Trinity reacted to it. A couple of their offensive linemen moved, and unfortunately, because the defense didn't cross the neutral zone, it's a false start.
All right, welcome back 5 after that penalty. That'll be 1st and 15 at the Bobcat 49-yard line, 28 on the clock. Probably going to be our last play of the first half unless we have an incomplete pass. They were all moving again, no call. And then service goes up the gut for 5.
Yeah, they're moving, but they're moving laterally. They're not getting into the neutral zone. So, for now, it's still legal. And
all right, well, he picked up 4. That'll make it 2nd and 11 as we wind out the final 5 seconds of the first quarter. Well, it's been an action-packed first quarter, even though we're at 7-7.
Yeah, it's been a great first quarter so far. Use the old boxing references.
Yeah.
There's been some jabs, a couple of big haymakers on each side, one for each side, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this game.
Yeah, no kidding. So if you're on either sideline, Coach, what are we talking about?
If you're Plymouth, you're talking about getting your backs to trust what they're seeing and keep running downhill like they have been. If you're Trinity, you want to keep the emotions up. You want to keep yourself in this. The longer they hang around, especially after what happened in October, the longer they hang around, the more confidence they're going to have going forward.
That's interesting you said that, because I was talking with Coach Cathcart yesterday, and he goes, we've got to find ways to stay close. Stay close. I mean, this team can, Plymouth can go off in a heartbeat, but if we stay close and we have some big plays, we're going to be right in this game. True to form so far.
Yeah, stay close, build your confidence, and then, at the end, anything can happen.
Yep. Definitely don't want to get in a high score. I mean, both these teams can load it up and light it up, but I tell you, Plymouth outscored their opponents 379 to 78. That's 42 points a game and under 9 if you're the opponents. Pretty good recipe for success.
It is.
You don't want to play that game if you're Trinity. Well, they can score.
Yeah, they can score, and just looking at it on the surface, it looks like maybe Trinity might have a little bit of advantage in the athletes, but again, Plymouth will grind you down and wear you out.
And being home helps. All right, there's you go, a little jet sweep right there. Looking at the speed, holy cow, getting around the flank right there for Trinity. That is a great run. It was on the 44-yard line, and it looks like the referee, the side judge, has his toe on the 30, but it looked like there's a flag down.
Yeah, there was a late hit out of bounds that time. It looks like.
And Dominic Datone is coming off in a little bit of distress right there, getting to the sidelines. And my old buddy Sarah Horn, the trainer, I'm a BG dad. She was the trainer for years at BG, and she's here on the Trinity sidelines, really high-quality person. She'll take care of him.
Yeah, she did a great job last week getting Ollie Service back in the game.
Sure. And her brother's the head basketball coach at Bishop Gurdon. All right. Well, after that 15-yard personal foul at 11:53, that'll move the Pios up to just shy of their 15-yard line, 1st down and 10 from there. DeRepo goes in motion to his left, and he takes that inside handoff. He's got speed, folks, and he's got 6. Wow.
Reminiscent of last week where he got a jet sweep, he got a quick screen and was able to take one to the house. Like I said, Trinity doing what they have to do here, spreading Plymouth out and taking advantage of their speed.
Yeah, Coach said he wanted to stay close, but it'd be even better if you leave him in the rearview mirror, and DeRepo left everybody in the rearview mirror right there. Young man had 24 catches, 453 yards on the season, 4 TDs, but as we see, he's also a really talented runner once he's got the ball in his hand. All right, and Bishop's in to kick the extra point attempt, and Service will hold it. 11:46, and we got more laundry on the field. Do we have a delay or an illegal formation?
Illegal
perhaps?
substitution.
Oh, substitution. And here comes number 22 on the field. A little late, Murphy. They were probably trying to get the right personnel in and shuffled the deck.
I'm not sure what happened. I know the Plymouth sideline was not happy with something.
Yeah, and the whole team was applauding because they knew it. All right, well, that'll back them up 5. We'll put the ball down at the 15-yard line, making it a 25-yard attempt. All right, and Bishop takes 2 steps to his left, put those international safety orange boots to work. That one gets a little bit of hook, but it goes in. Tack on 1, and it's 14-7 for the Pioneers at the 11:46 mark here in our D2 semifinal in the second quarter. Nothing wrong with getting a turnover on 4th, and earlier we had the turnover on downs by Trinity for your team momentum after you start in a hole, Coach.
Yes, Trinity twice now. You get the momentum, get a momentum-changing play on defense, and your offense comes back and strikes quickly.
And we are not broadcasting from the top of Mount McIntyre here, but we are way up on the roof here, and it's a little windy. Sorry for the windy audio, folks. We are doing our best here, but it is a beautiful day.
It is.
It's warmer than advertised, and we were grateful for that when we got together.
Yes, absolutely. November in New Hampshire, the weather could be anything from snow to 70 degrees.
Yeah. That's Dale Moutz, the coach here. Rich McDonough here from Manchester Public Television. Dale and I are doing our inaugural run together, having fun so far.
Oh, it's a great day.
Yeah. I'd rather be doing football than doing the leaves.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yet again, Bryson Stone, he gets into action right there.
Yeah, great kick that time by Connor Bishop. Kicked it to the left side, and they kind of walled it in, kind of boxed it in that time to keep from getting a big return.
And we've seen that Stone likes to go to his left, but when you hook it all the way down, you can't go left. He's too far to go.
Right.
But when he catches it in between the hashes, that's his preferred route so far. So, yeah, good kick, tactical kicking.
Yes.
Also happens, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at their own 20-yard line. They're up, Bobcats. They're down 14-7 after being up 7-0 initially. And that's Valenti one more time. I mean, I made the Riggins comparison. Riggins, a lot of people used to say, even when he falls down, he gains 2 yards. And I think that's Valenti right there.
Yeah, everything he's done so far today has been forward. And if you're Plymouth, you're down by a score, but you don't abandon what got you here.
Sure.
Yeah, and you just keep trying to wear out the Trinity defensive line.
That's your team identity. He's 6'2", 180. I think he plays like a bigger guy.
Oh, absolutely he does.
Strong as an ox. All right, here we go. In motion comes Logan Marsh. This one goes down looking, and there was that their first pass attempt of the day? Yes.
That was their first pass attempt, and it was open for a minute. They had Cooper Legacy right up the middle, right up the seam, but a great play coming over the top by Malith to block that away.
And Legacy's a good receiver, 14 catches on the regular season for 302, 7 TDs, 21.6 per catch. That's pretty darn good.
It is, and that's one of those play action passes where you run, and then you slip somebody just right up the seam and catch the defense sleeping.
Well, we told you that Caven Sanborn can get back and sling the rock. That'll be there in the future. All right, this time he gives the inside handoff right there to Logan Marsh. Logan breaks a couple of tackles, sheds another one, almost slips a third, courtesy of James Leonard, who's been a busy man today. That's a good gain right there for Logan Marsh. Great run.
Yeah, he was able to get outside that time, get the corner, and have a big gain. And now it looks like Plymouth is going to try and hurry things up a little bit.
All he did was pick up 23 yards right there. 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line, 10:40 on the clock. There goes Valenti with a seagull flying over his helmet.
That's actually a red-tailed hawk.
Was it a red-tailed hawk? Excuse me, I lost it in the glare. How dare I offend a red-tailed hawk? It's a majestic bird. All right, well, they gain 5 on 1st and 10, make it 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line. We are down to 10:20 on our second quarter here. It's 14-7 Pioneers. Two-man open, a little bit of a sail route. Oh, jumping the route right there.
Tate Metallic jumping the route.
You got to like that last name.
Oh, yes. And, if he catches that, he's walking into the end zone. There was nobody in front of him.
So we got a legacy for the Bobcats playing and service. How about that? That doesn't happen very often.
Not at all.
Especially in Veterans Month. All 3 of my kids are serving, which is a wonderful thing. We got good young people taking care of us.
Yes.
All right, here we go. It is 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Line to gain is the 47 on the other side of the 50. Boy, what a log jam right there for Rousseau. I thought he had a little seam right there, but quick reactions there by the entire left side of the Trinity D.
Yeah, that was number 32 that time. I don't see him on our list.
Yeah, he was a late addition.
But he was able to fight off the block on the outside and stop that play for no gain.
And you don't know why sometimes you get the jersey change. I coach teenage boys forever. Sometimes they forget their jerseys, and you got to have a backup.
Yes.
It just happens. You know that, Coach.
Yes, I do.
All right, back to punt, the Bobcats. And it's Stone yet again. This one kind of angles off the outside of his foot, and that'll flirt with the out. We'll see how they mark it. It looked maybe the 30-yard line. He keeps walking, getting his steps in. And the side judges collaborate right there, and they're going to go even at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's something that, as a punter, I hated to do, was have it fly out of bounds, because then you leave the determination up to the officials.
Yeah.
If I could, I wanted it to bounce inbounds and then roll out. That way they knew where it was going to go.
I think the only being alive that could have determined exactly where that went out of bounds was that red-tailed hawk that just flew over.
Yes.
All right, nevertheless, 1st and 10 for the Pios at their 30-yard line, up 14-7, 9:24 here in our second quarter. Coming in motion yet again is Derryfield, the speedy fella. Fakes the inside sweep right there. Nice little gadget play. Catching it on the fly is Metallic. He has one as to beat, and Valente makes a shoestring tackle, or he's possibly gaining another 10 or more yards, Coach.
Oh, yeah, it was a great play that time by Trinity. They ran Derryfield off, and Plymouth went with it on the play fake, and Metallic was wide open.
And they're going a little tempo here. That one sailed on him. I think catching a little bit of a breeze, maybe a little bit of excitement too on those on the chuck.
Yeah, Metallic was wide open again.
Yep. He probably saw it out of the corner of his eye and said, "Ooh, I got him."
Yeah.
Since sometimes you get the little yips and you end up throwing off your back foot.
Yeah. Alejandro Foden came on an in route that time, and Metallic went on an out route, and it was wide open.
All right, well, after that incomplete pass, it's 2nd and 10 at the Bobcat 48-yard line. Trinity has a tight formation near side here. In motion goes Bishop. Stutter steps, and look, he's going to come back the other way. Yep, he does, and he's met there instantly. Good, staying home, staying on his keys right there was Russo, the senior captain. We got Russos all over the field, all through the playoffs, Coach. I've called a bunch, every sport so far, sisters and brothers all over the field.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of fun.
It is, absolutely.
And you just know they were giving it up in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the competitions in the backyard have to be epic.
And then for a barbecue. Here we go, 3rd down and 8 on the 46-yard line as we hit the 8:40 mark here in our first half in our second quarter. 14-7 Pioneers looking to create. All right, here we go. Jet sweep goes right there to Derryfield. Can he turn the corner? Not quite. Good job in pursuit yet again by Ben Valente. Yeah, he gets it done at the running back position, but he is all over the defensive field as well, Coach.
Yeah, and you can't ask for anything more for what he did on that play. Derryfield, he got the corner, but they were able to shut it off and prevent the first down. So bring up a 4th down now for Trinity, and we'll see what Plymouth can do.
And Derryfield's got wheels, so if he can turn the corner. So good play, 4th down and 4, 8:23 on the clock. It's stopped after that out-of-bounds tackle. And the Pioneers got man coverage near side here, and they shift. I wonder if we're going to get a timeout. No, we're going to get a flag. We got 2 men moving.
Yeah.
Legal procedure right there. Boy, 4th and short, or 4th and 3, and really 4-down territory, but that walks them back a bit. That kind of changes your strategy right here. What do you think, Coach?
It definitely does. You could have gone for
anything,
just about anything at 4th and 3. Now you got to open it up a little bit, because now you're down at 4th and 8.
Right, and Ollie's service is dangerous with play action in that sort of situation. And now we got our timeout that we thought might be coming. They got to discuss this. Probably a good timeout.
Absolutely. Great timeout. Get yourself ready, get the best play that you have, and go from there, because you don't want to turn it over right now at your own or at the Plymouth 46-yard line and give them a short field to go in.
Now you got an aggressive defense in the Bobcats, but they're disciplined. Can you get them moving? Can you get a little misdirection, some play action? Is that possible?
It is definitely possible. We've seen it already once before.
Yep.
with the pass, and DeRepo's been able to get the corner a little bit. Running him in motion has been able to change the defense a little bit on their alignment. So it's doing what they can to try to keep Plymouth off balance as much as possible.
Sure.
But Plymouth has been playing a very disciplined game so far.
And one thing that Coach Cathcart, when I talked to him yesterday morning, stressed was they're multiple. They have multiple looks. And right here, that's the time when you can flex and keep them guessing.
Yes.
All right, here we go. 4th and long, 4th and 8. 8:19 on the clock. Big play right here for the Pioneers and the Bobcats for that matter. And here we go. Little early play action. Big rush, evaded by Service. He's an athlete. He gives a pump fake, and then it creates a little hesitation. He slips. He goes. He's on sideline. He's in the 10, 5, touchdown. What a recognition by Ollie Service, and then he's got the athleticism and that next gear to get the job done. Wow.
Yeah, he got flushed out of the pocket that time, came to his right, was able to get around the corner, and he broke through a tackle at probably the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, and was able to take it the rest of the way into the house. That looked like what he did last week to Hanover.
And that little hesitation as he crossed the 50-yard line froze the DB as he was approaching.
Yeah, the little pump fake. That's what froze them, because the DB was coming up to stop the run. The pump fake made him hesitate, thinking, is there a receiver behind me or not? And that opened everything up.
All right, Bishop, and you think some of our young kids have been watching Mr. Mahomes?
A little bit.
Just a little bit with that little pump. He pump fakes when he's 20 yards downfield.
Yeah.
And people go for it like he's going to throw it. When you're conditioned to play defense like that, it becomes kind of second nature. You're going to go for it, but I guess that's why we do reps downfield and say, don't get, let's condition you out of that, right?
Correct. And what I tell our kids, once the ball gets past the line of scrimmage, they cannot throw it downfield. Go get it.
Stay on the hips, stay on the man.
Yes.
Well, all right. Nevertheless, it's a 48-yard scamper by number 5, the All-Stater from 2024. Probably a repeat offender this year, having himself a great season, and he's a real leader just like his big brother was. 8:03. That makes it 21-7. For the Pioneers. They went down early on a huge drive, early drive. It was an authoritative drive by the Bobcats, and I'd say, Coach, that they've answered back.
Absolutely, they've answered back. 21 unanswered points. Now we have to see what Plymouth is made of.
Right. Well, they've got plenty of senior leadership and an aggressive blocking scheme, so let's see what happens. Yet again, here comes Stone. He goes up line, and they keep it away from his and he dropped the ball. I think his knees were down. Yeah, they called him down. Looks like the 31-yard line, no fumble, quick reaction there, but more tactical kicking. And when they've kicked it over there to him, they pin him back. When he's had the left side to go to, he's been outside the 35, even the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and keeping him boxed in, being able to get the coverage over there.
Yeah.
And that one, I think the returner, Stone, kind of bailed him out a little bit, because it looked like it may have gone out of bounds from here, but.
Bailed out Bishop. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at their 31-yard line. Yeah, good call. It's been working all day, so why not QB sneak following that good interior of that O-line?
Yeah, another 8 yards on the quarterback sneak, or 7 yards on the quarterback sneak, and still 7:35 to go in the second quarter. Plymouth doesn't have to abandon who they are and what got them here yet. they can still continue to run and pound this out, but at some point you got to start looking at what do we do to open this up a little bit and get something quick.
All right, that's the coach, Dale Moutz here, Rich McDonough here. It is 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line. Bobcats down 14, looking to get back in the game. All right, not a bad way to get back in the game is giving it to Cooper Legacy, but good job by the Trinity defense, staying home, staying on their keys, and limiting a talented runner to short. But that brings up 2nd and short, or 3rd and short. Haven't changed the down marker yet. And are we getting the sticks coming on the field? We don't have laser assist here, do we? Virtual measurement?
We do not.
It's been interesting watching that virtual measurement because sometimes they show it accurately and then it misses by half a foot. I'm not a believer yet. Yeah, so they look it up. Might be a hair short. Yeah, like an inch. I think they'll go for it.
Yeah,
although it is 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd down. Look for more than likely a quarterback sneak just to get the 1st down.
Sure.
And reset the sticks.
But totally reasonable measurement. Get it right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
You want to make sure that things are done correctly.
Absolutely. All right, so the nose of the ball will be just inside the 41-yard line. The clock is stopped at 6 minutes 54 seconds for that measurement, and that'll bring up 3rd and an inch, right? I think it was 3rd and an inch.
I don't think you can get much closer.
I mean, he almost had prayer hands. They were so close together. All right, here we go. Strength on strength right here, unless they do some sort of misdirection. But Coach Moutz called it correctly. Quarterback sneak. That'll move the sticks and get a fresh 10 yards on the chain gang.
Yeah, the way they've been running the quarterback sneak, usually getting 6, 7, 8 yards a carry, it was pretty much a no-brainer what they were going to do.
Well, he needed an inch. He got 2 yards. Ball is on the 43-yard line. 6:36 on the clock. We'll get the restart after they move those sticks in just a moment. And we go. 21-7 Pioneers after being down early, 7-zip in the first quarter, have put 21 straight on the board and have a good lead at their own home field. But nothing safe with this Bobcats team. Inside handoff goes to Marsh. Marsh trying to turn the corner. That gap shut down in a hurry right there near side, Coach.
Yeah, and Plymouth looks like they're trying to cut it upfield as quick as they can, get north and south. Maybe if they come out a little bit wider, they might be able to get the corners and get outside and maybe get a few extra yards. But, they're doing what they've always done, and, so far it's working for them for the most part.
And early on, I think we were a little concerned about the lateral pursuit and the lane discipline on defense. Looks like Trinity's in command of what it's supposed to do right now.
Oh, yeah. Trinity's defense has adjusted, and they've been keeping everything filtering back to the middle.
All right, here comes Valente taking it, going left side off the tackle. Good run on 2nd down. That'll move the chains yet again. Looks like he's down about the 43-yard line of the Pioneers, and a little bit of surge, a little bit of momentum just when the Bobcats needed it.
Yeah, that time they came out in the shotgun, giving Trinity a little bit of a different look, and ran it off tackle back to the short side, and that time Valenti was able to get a nice gain out of it.
All right, good drive in the developing here for the Bobcats. 5:10 on the clock.
Yeah, this is what they need. Get a good drive, see what they can do. If they can score here before halftime, it's going to change the complexion of the game.
Little play action. That's a missed opportunity right there, but I think you had high-low coverage on the far side right there. Probably pretty good coverage at both levels. Almost looked like you just threw it to the turf and, get a fresh set here.
Yeah, it was a run-pass option play, and the quarterback was getting hit just as he was trying to throw it. So probably a good thing that that it was short because, like you said, it was covered very well.
And if somebody had jumped a route and had been accurate, there was nothing in front of him.
Right.
There we go. Or both DBs, if they had jumped and it was an accurate pass, no matter which level the throw went to. All right, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 as we hit the 5-minute even mark. And there goes Valente yet again. He's loving that left side right now.
Yeah, they're finding something over there, and they're pulling their linemen around and making some nice holes on the right side of the Trinity defensive line.
Well, I'll tell you, Robert Schley, the tackle, number 65 right there, he looks like he might have rolled his ankle a bit. He's feeling it right now.
Yeah, he's got up limping out of that pile. We'll see how that affects him going forward.
Well, linemen are tough, if nothing else. All right, that was a 6-yard gain, make it 3rd and 6. Ball's at the 37-yard line. All right, trying that left side again. This time, a wide open gap right there. And boy, surging forward, this man can run, and he just doesn't quit. Those legs keep churning, and that is the tire drill right there. The tire drill, and I meant the tire filled with cement that you drag behind you right there, Coach.
Yeah, that was a great, powerful run that time by Valenti, and got a little bit of help from his offensive line.
I would say
kind of bumped into him as he was initially starting to get wrapped up, and kind of threw him forward for another 5 to 10 yards.
The downfield version of the tush push, but he got 17 on that carry, and that brings the nose of the football to the red zone for the Bobcats as we hit the 3:45 mark here at Derryfield Park, running that first down quarterback sneak yet again, and yet again he gets at least 4 yards. Sometimes he's been getting 5 or more. Hey, run it. If it works, don't fix what ain't broke, right?
Exactly. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And Plymouth is doing what got them here. And, they a running team, grinding it out. And, even though they're down 2 scores, get one here right before half, as I mentioned earlier, that's going to change things for them confidence-wise and momentum-wise coming out for the second half.
Well, Caven Sanborn picked up 4 yards. That'll make it 2nd down and 6 at the 16. As we hit the 3-minute mark even here. This has been a good drive for the Bobcats, trying to get their mojo straight and get back in the game here. Now, rare pass. He's wide open outside. Can he get there? Oh, it's a good throw. Beautiful catch, leading him perfectly. And it looked like Legacy. Can't see the back of his jersey. I believe it is.
Yeah, that was Cooper
Yeah,
Legacy.
that's Legacy. And excellent dynamic athlete. Little play action, roll out, play to your strengths right there. And everybody had come up on the line of scrimmage, and that left Legacy the whole entire corner there, Coach.
Yeah, that's what this offense does. It lulls you to sleep with run, and then as soon as you're not looking, they'll hit you over the top on a pass.
All right, and Stone boots another one through. These 2 kickers are pretty darn good here, Coach.
Yeah. Big legs, nice high kicks.
Yep, the Rockettes. Well, that makes it 21-14 at our 2:52 mark. Excellent answer. They had to have that drive, in my opinion. That gets them mentally, psychologically back in the game. You understand that it's just a football game, and you're a very competitive team that can win this whole title. And but you got to make that one happen. Well done, right, Coach?
Oh, yes. They definitely needed a response after giving up 21 unanswered. And, they went back to doing what Plymouth does. They grounded out, and then, they hit it over the top on a great pass. And, now they're right back in a 1-score game, and the momentum is on their side now.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though they're a run team, they mixed it up a little bit on that. Even though they had a couple incompletions, now Trinity has to respect that.
Yes.
Because they're going for it. Oh, this one knuckles sideways off, but that's going to go out of bounds, I believe. And there we go. Here comes the flag, and high school 35-yard line, I believe.
Correct.
Yep. NFL would be 40. So
it was a great idea on the little pooch kick. Hit it in between the 2 levels, but got it just a little too far on the outside.
And that thing was knuckling sideways, kind of clockwise. And once the nose of that football hits, out we go. I mean, you got a huge carom. And here we go, 35-yard line. Pioneers, 1st and 10, 2:52 on the clock. Plenty of time for this quick, explosive offense to add more points. And you got trips to the near side here and a pair far side, empty backfield. Interesting. Think they might pass. Oh, it's a big rush right there. Nice seam. Wow. Beautiful ball placement.
And we do have a flag behind the play.
And I think we might have had a late hit. either that or a hold. It was right around where Service threw that ball.
Hold.
And we got that hold. Holy cow.
There's a great pass by Service and a great catch on the other end. You know, just got wiped out by the penalty.
That ball placement was fantastic. I mean, it's right in between
Oh,
the high-low defense
yeah,
right there.
Great pass, hit it right in the hole where it had to be, and unfortunately, he got called for the penalty.
And that's in the backfield, so they'll walk it off from the line of scrimmage.
Fortunately for Trinity, it's from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
If it had been from the spot of the foul, you could be looking at a first and 30, first and 25.
Country mile.
Yes.
All right, nevertheless, first and 20 at the 25-yard line, 2:38 on the clock. Clock rolling. Play action, fake the jet sweep inside. Disciplined defense yet again by the Bobcats. They stayed home, didn't fall for it.
Yeah, Ollie Service tried to keep it and go to the left side on a power, and Plymouth was ready for it.
He only picked up one. That'll make it second 19, 2:15 on the clock here. Pio's up 21-14 in this semifinal. Like we said earlier, the winner gets Souhegan Pelham. We'll try to get it out of town scoreboard. It's a concurrent game at Souhegan today. Those two teams know each other. Souhegan are the defending champs. I got to call that D2 final last year. It was a great game.
Yeah, I saw Souhegan play Manchester West earlier this year, and you know,
ooh. Wow, battle of number 15s right there as Logan Marsh put the hat on Foden.
Yeah.
And a pretty good collision right there.
Big collision. Good to see both kids up and ready to go back for the next play. As I was saying, I saw Souhegan play Manchester West, and as good as West has been the last couple of years, Souhegan, you know, they really took it to him.
Yeah, Coach Robin Bobcat over there. Excellent Fiengo at quarterback. Radalinas at what a great runner for Souhegan. Player of the year, I believe. Okay, we're at 1:09 here. Service is back, gets a hard rush, finds his man streaking down. It's Bishop yet again. He gets over the chains and gets to the 48 or 49-yard line. Move those sticks as we move to 1 minute. They'll freeze the clock while the chain gang moves. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, great route that time by Bishop. He started out on the left side of the offense, came in motion, and then ran a crossing route all the way back across the field like a throwback, and Ollie was able to put the ball right on the button, and Bishop was able to make the necessary yards to get the first down.
You don't run that play with going back against the grain unless you got a quarterback with a good arm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ball placement.
Yes.
Ball placement. Excellent play, nice design, and great execution. So, yeah, that's Souhegan. Yeah, they're the team to beat, but the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the semis, the teams that you kind of expected and who are playing the best ball all year round are there. And I love upsets, but that's kind of the way it ought to be sometimes.
Right, and covering Manchester West the last couple of years, and this year the only two regular season games they lost were to Souhegan and Pelham, and they were shut out in both games. But then last week they go down to Pelham and lose a heartbreaker 7-6.
Yeah.
So, and having been an assistant coach over at West, knowing what Souhegan and Pelham both can do, it's got to be a great game over there today.
Well, the only game the Bobcats lost was to Souhegan this year. Little bubble screen right there goes out to DeRepo. He can make it. He shakes it and bakes it. Nice job. Explosive first few steps right there out of that pitch and catch right there, Coach.
Yeah, great move on the outside. Get the first down, and most importantly, get out of bounds.
Yeah, really good IQ right there. Cerebral players on both sides of the ball. DeRepo gets to the 39-yard line after picking up 17 yards. Really well-timed bubble screen right there.
Oh, absolutely. Catch Plymouth coming in, trying to make a play, trying to make something happen, and that's a good way to slow down the rush.
All right, you got trips near side and pairs, not pairs, but you got two split out. Going in motion right there is DeTone, and they go up the gut right there. Interesting play when you got a lot of momentum and you're under a minute right there. It looks like they lost a yard.
Yeah, they tried to pull from the backside with the motion and get Ollie service going forward, but Plymouth stayed home and was able to get.
Oh, high snap goes off of his right hand. DeTone picks that up. Good hands by number 11 right there. Wow, that's a tough couple of plays and sequences right there. That hurts.
It is, and fortunately for Trinity, Dominic DeTone was able to get that ball and keep it from being turned over, because that would have completely changed the complexion of everything.
Well, and Hershey blew that one up right there. Good job, but it all started with that high, wide snap right there.
Yeah, it was the high snap, and Ollie Service tried to get it just off his hand, and then it was the scramble after that.
Might have been a bit early. He looked surprised that it came up. Anyway, that'll back him up to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 19 from there. 29 and a half ticks on the clock. So what do you do, Coach? You get a chunk here and put yourself in position. You got one timeout. Put yourself in position to get a makeable. Well, you'd like to get first down now, but makeable on 4th.
Yeah, 3rd down here. You want to try and get about half of it back if you can.
Okay. All right, they fake the inside to Derepo, looking long. Nice little curl. Oh, and he took his eyes off the ball.
They were setting up for a big play there. Metallic was looking for Derepo coming around. They were going to run the old hook and ladder, and he tried to pitch it before he had the ball in his hands.
Right. Got to look it in first. You see those old stop action pictures of Jerry Rice? His eyes were like saucers glued to the ball.
Yes.
And, I mean, he made sure first. You didn't see him drop too many. I used to, coach lacrosse forever. I'd say, guys, you've got to keep eyes on the ball until it's in your net. You've got to have scientific knowledge that you have it.
Yes.
All right, but that forces a punt. Ball's at the 48-yard line. That play didn't take up too much time. In fact, didn't take up any. Clock didn't run. All right, big high punt right there. And that one takes a knuckling bounce, goes inside the 20. Karam's downside, and it looks like it's going to come to rest about the 14-yard line. Smartly, Trinity just stayed away from the ball.
Yeah, it was a high punt into the wind, so the wind held the ball up. A lot of hang time. Then they got a great bounce out of it as well. So, we'll see what Plymouth does here. More than likely they're probably going to try a run and see if they can pop one out. But I don't see them doing anything too fancy or too tricky.
Yeah.
That's just not them coming out. You definitely don't want to risk it down here. With only 13.9 seconds left to go in the half.
All right, it is 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line, 13.9 on the clock. Probably going to be a tight formation, and, Sanborn comes to the sidelines, and into the game comes Stone. Interesting. Our buddies over at NH Sports Page in this booth to our left, we're all sitting there going, the clock never started on that last play. So we're at 13.9. We could be at, who knows, 8 seconds, 9 seconds.
Well, it did run on the punt.
No, I meant the previous play where they tried the pass play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so should have chewed up about 5 to 8 seconds right there, and I think Trinity's probably none too pleased at that.
It was there. Yeah.
It was there. All right. We got coaches up top here. It's really fun.
Yeah, and I saw it. They saw it. That hook and lateral was there if Metallic had been able to catch the ball and get the flip over.
Yep.
He tried to pitch it just a tick too quick.
Look it in first and then take care of business. And there's always you hear the footsteps. You could get lit up,
right,
and it would disrupt any toss right there.
Right.
So we understand the psychology. Again, teenage boys, it's part of life. We saw that hook and ladder the other night in the Thursday night game. Anyway, here we go. It is 13.9 on the clock, 1st down and 10 for the Bobcats. Sanborn's back in. They run up the gut, long gainer on 1st. And do they call T.O.?
The clock's going to stop for the chains to move.
Yep. You got a play called, no doubt, and they're right into formation rapidly. You got 2 timeouts in pocket, but only 3, 2, 1 and this will wind us out of our first half. Well, I got to tell you, it was an exciting first half. Momentum changes. Fourth down stuffs. Fourth down turnover. Early touchdown for Plymouth. Go up 7-0. Trinity answers 3 times, and then Plymouth gets one back in the waning minutes of our third period. Pretty darn good half, Coach Maltz.
Yeah, it was a great first half for both sides. You know, like you said, a lot of momentum swings back and forth. You know, neither team really blinking. Plymouth coming back with the touchdown that they needed after giving up 21 straight.
Yep.
So I'm very anxious to see what happens here in the second half, shaping up to be a good one.
Got good coaches. They're going to make some adjustments, talk strategy, and hit the reset switch for the second half. The fellas got 15-minute break. This is Rich McDonough, along with the coach, Dale Maltz, for Manchester Public Television here at Derryfield for the semis in D2 football. Been a good first half. Hopefully we'll have a good second half, and thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. And welcome back, everybody, to Derryfield Park, Powers Field, where we are broadcasting for Manchester Public Television, the D2 boys semifinal between hometown, home field Trinity. The Pioneers are hosting the Plymouth Bobcats in this 2-3 seed matchup here. Rich McDonough, the coach, Dale Maltz up here in the booth, or I should say the roof here. After an entertaining first half, it is 21-14 for Trinity in a back-and-forth game. Momentum swings, physicality, big plays, great running, kind of a lot of what we expected, Coach.
Yeah, it's been a great first half so far. You know, Plymouth came out, went right down the field on their opening drive. Trinity answered with 21 of their own, and you know, Plymouth looked to be on the ropes and came back and was able to get a touchdown right before halftime to get themselves back in the game. So, you know, like you said, momentum swings back and forth, big plays, very physical on both sides. So I'm looking forward to the second half to see what we have.
And the playmakers that we identified pregame and during the first half, they showed up taking care of business. One thing that showed up really well when we thought it might, the Trinity defense stiffened up, got their lateral pursuit, stayed on their keys, and I think that was critical toward changing the kind of complexion of the game early on.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the first drive, Plymouth was able to do whatever they wanted, and then after that, Trinity's defense seemed to settle in and take a lot of things away.
All right, Trinity will start the ball. The ball knuckles down to about the 24-yard line. Picked up right there near side. Gang tackle in there by the Bobcats, wrestling out of bounds. Leading the charge right there was Dominic Ciotti, the two-way player for the Bobcats, and treating rudely was Malik as he scrambled to get up the sidelines, nothing doing. Gang tackle by the Bobcats, and the Pioneers will start first down and 10 at their 27-yard line, up 21-14. We got out-of-town scoreboard, Coach, where the winner of this game gets the winner of Souhegan Pelham, and Souhegan, number 1 seed, defending champs, doing what they set out to do, 27-7 in the third on their home field.
Yeah, Souhegan is a monster. I've seen them play this year. back here after some technical difficulties.
We are back. We had some technical difficulties. Rich McDonough got his inaugural ride as a camera crew member, while our man Nick Sands, doing everything, fixed us in a heartbeat. This one gets away from service immediately, and he throws it long, had a wide open DeRepo on the far sideline, overthrew him. I think he was just kind of over-eager at that point, knowing that we had a dangerous play right there, Coach.
Yeah, snap got away from him, maybe panic a little bit, but he was able to gather himself and throw. My guess, more than likely, the throwing with the wind, got it up a little high, and the wind carried it a little further than he wanted to.
Yeah, I will tell you, I was just down on the field at halftime. It is one direction down there, whereas I think we're getting the swirly going around here.
Yeah.
Not the bad kind of swirly.
Right. Looking at the flag, it seems to be going from right to left on our TV, on the TV screen here.
All right, it goes back to the Bobcats, first down and 10. At the Trinity 44-yard line, give it off to Valente. He goes left side. He's been loving that left gap right there. Gets around the end. They're bringing the linebackers outside, and they're getting one home, and the second level blocking's been pretty good when they get that going.
Yeah, Plymouth pulling their backside when they run, and they're getting up to the second level, opening up the holes, and the running backs are just feasting on it. That time they came out in shotgun, give a little bit of a different look to the defense, and trying to move them out a little bit.
Good blocking IQ and execution. There we go, going back to that quarterback sneak. It's not even a sneak, really. It's just a quarterback run up the gut.
Yeah, quarterback power straight up the middle, and it's been very effective for the Bobcats.
And Sanborn's a 6'3", 180 kid, so he's got a lot of mojo when he brings it, and that'll move the sticks yet again. 31-yard line of the Pioneers, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats, trailing by 7, and certainly looking like they got some momentum and headed toward the end zone. But that's why we play the game, Coach. Got to keep it rolling. All right, here we go. Sanborn gets him set. He's in the pistol right there. He's got, he had service underneath, but he hands it off to Valente. Valente doesn't get much that time as the linebackers shot up in that gap and clogged things up, Coach.
Yeah, defense stepping up again for Trinity. I think if you're Plymouth, you want to spread them out a little bit, create some natural running lanes, and see if you can exploit the defense that way. Trinity seems to have adjusted very well to keeping everything tight and playing in the phone booth, as they say.
One time, I saw them in an early game, the Bobcats, and they set them up. And they went right side, just like they did when I was saying they set them up. There we go, all the way down inside the 5-yard line goes the big fella Valente. But what I was going to say, Coach, was they were running the left gap, whether it was the 2-4 going around the end, and then they did that about 5-6 times in a row, including that quarterback sneak, and then they had a little bit of a hesitation, and they went back right side, and they had big gainer, and there it was. It made me look good for a second.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do.
Right, and this one, Valente, the big guy, they pulled the guard and tackle from the left side. He was very patient, followed his blocks, and was able to get a big gain out of it.
Exactly. Let your fellas do their dirty work first and then go. First down and goal on the 5-yard line. Give it back to Valente. He tries to go over that 4 and meets his own right tackle there. But the big guy, like we said earlier in the first half, when he falls forward for a yard or two.
Right.
Not just falling down.
Right, yeah, so, set him up 2nd and goal at the 4, and, he looked like he got that a little bit too narrow looking from up here. If he steps out maybe a half a step wider, he might have got a bigger gain out of it.
Yeah, it bounces. But you move this 2 yards at a time and you're in the end zone.
Right.
Yeah, 6:46 on the clock here. And the Bobcats are knocking at the door. And there goes back to that quarterback sneak. Nothing doing, no surprises here. Old school smash mouth football. And the Bobcats are looking to knot it up after a good 40-yard drive after that turnover on downs.
Yeah, there's a great drive by Plymouth, and again, the quarterback sneak, like you said, not even a quarterback sneak anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a quarterback power straight up the middle.
Exactly.
And virtually untouched.
I mean, he's like a fullback when he gets going.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Stone in to kick. Yep, good job, Sanborn, with the hold. There was a little weird snap, but he got that down in a hurry. And you can see that flagpole whipping over there and the changing breezes, but it doesn't affect that kick. We are knotted up at 21, folks. It was 7-0 early of the Bobcats. Trinity answered back with 21 straight points. Bobcats got TD on a nice pass play with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter and take the momentum. They engineered their own momentum toward the end of that second quarter, and they carried it through into our third. And here we go, 21's on the boards.
Yeah, that they did. You know, they stepped up and, like you said, took the momentum back in the second quarter with that long drive to get the touchdown towards the end, and then stepped up on defense to keep Trinity out of the end zone the way they've been striking quick earlier. And now, you know, we're back to even, back to where we started. And, you know, this is a great football game all the way around so far.
Boy, we could be home, like I said, we could be home cleaning up the lawn and the leaves. Instead, we get to be here for this great All-American event and an excellent football game with two clubs who know each other well. Good stuff. All right, the knuckleball kick goes all the way down to the 23-yard line. Oh, that's a nice cutback by Derryfield. He's got speed, he's got a wall, he's got a gap, and he's got the sidelines if he wants it. Oh, and he loses the ball in traffic. And it's a scramble for it, and it looks like the Bobcats fell on it. They do. Boy, that one just slipped out of his arms. Maybe somebody got a hand on it in traffic. I don't think so. It just squirted loose. That cold leather gets slippery as heck, Coach.
Yeah, the ball does get slippery when it's cold, and that could be a backbreaker for the Pioneers. You know, great return that time by Derryfield, and then, you know, just to cough it up like that, have it slip out of his hand.
That's too bad. What an effort by Derryfield right there. As I said, we've talked all game. He's a dynamic, at times electrifying runner.
Oh, great runner, great player on both sides of the ball for the Pioneers. And, you know, I saw this last night at Memorial High School in their playoff game against Salem. You know, they'd get some momentum going, and then they would get a penalty, or they would turn the ball over. You know, they fought till the very end, but, you know, 3 lost fumbles and a pick 6, and they just couldn't overcome it.
Well, I'm banged up on that play was Amitai Matwali, who they can't lose. He's an excellent tackler with 44 on the season, but the big thing in his game is lateral pursuit for the Bobcats. All right, but after that turnover on the kick at 21's, ball's at the 43-yard line. Bobcats have a chance to get the lead back for the first time since the first quarter. And this one squirts away, and Trinity falls on this one. I get your turnover and answer with one of our own. Yeah. Wow, what a sequence, Coach.
Yeah, that's huge. Huge for Trinity. Yeah, it looked like Plymouth was trying to seize the momentum back and trying to put something together to maybe go up here. First play, the Pioneers are able to turn it back over and, you know, essentially get the ball where they would have had it on the kickoff return.
Wow, I think Service fell on that.
He did.
Yep.
Ollie Service came out of the pile with the football.
It looks like his ribs were hurting. You ever fall on the ball, Coach?
Yes.
Especially in cold weather?
Yes.
That hurts. That'll knock the wind out of you. Okay, but taking the wind out of the Bobcats' sails, Trinity gets the ball back on the Bobcat 40-yard line. And just like that, you blink your eye and you're back in business. Service is under center, hands it on the sweep right there. That's a good play staying home by, that is Rousseau, the younger Rousseau, and the Rousseau brothers can play football, Coach.
Yeah, that was a great play by Brody Rousseau that time. Getting off the block, you know, looked like number 24 that time. Tate Metallic had him sealed off, and he just kind of read the block, and as soon as Derryfield made his cut, shed off the block, made the tackle.
There we go. All right, Kitch in the center is over the ball. Back to the pistol we go this time. In motion is Malif. And here we go, going over the top. He's got him if he got him. And boy, he hangs on to that ball. His knee went down, but not till the ball had crossed the plane. What a pitch and catch right there on that fat post route right there. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great play that time. Great pass by Service, and an even better play at the end by Metallic, being able to fight through the tackle and dive into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he comes up limping, but he's probably pretty darn happy. He'll get some few small repairs from Sarah Horn, no doubt. Sarah rushes over. She, the excellent trainer for Trinity right now. And in to kick is Bishop yet again. Wow. Quick strike was the word, and quick strike is the activity. And we got flag in the end zone. I wonder if we had too many players. A little bit of a conclave for the fellas in black and white stripes. And we have false. Whoa, interesting procedure on the Bobcats. And
Not
Coach
sure.
Sanborn wants a lengthy explanation, no doubt. He's got his headset off, and I'd love to be on next to that conversation, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. It looked like they might have gotten Trinity for too many men breaking the huddle. Malith ran off late, and now with the penalty against Plymouth, it looks like Trinity's going to try and go for two from the 1.5 yard line.
And what are the advantages and disadvantages, Coach, of doing that? Of going for two, that is.
Of going for two, it's still a one-score game, but you get the extra point, so to speak. It'd be an 8-point game instead of 7. It kind of forces Plymouth's hand if they score again.
And you've proven you can move the football, so you like your chances at getting a 2 if you need it.
Correct.
There's that jet sweep. Oh, that's a good boy. Interesting that they did that against a defensively disciplined team right there, and it was wide open. He could have picked almost any seam he wanted as he ran down.
Yeah, great play, jet sweep, untouched on the outside, just able to walk into the end zone.
Well, at 5:31, we had turnovers on successive plays after a kickoff and a touchdown, and just like that, the Pioneers, only a minute and 8 seconds later, after Plymouth scored, Trinity is back in the lead. They got a 2-point conversion. They're up by 8, 29-21. What a ball game.
Yeah, it's a great game, and now we'll have to see what Plymouth can do to answer.
Well, again, I tell you, looking back to that touchdown, that was a beautiful quick play action, and then Ollie Service showed us all he's got that cannon. That was a heck of a pass.
Yeah, it was a great pass. They ran motion to the right side, and Metallic ran a post on the backside and beat his guy, and Ollie Service put the ball exactly where it had to be.
Fantastic. All right, here comes the kick. Bishop in to do the honors at the 40-yard line, back deep. Rousseau and Stone. This one's going to Stone yet again. This time it's on the hash mark, but he drops it initially. That takes his rhythm out of the way. Sometimes it pays off, but not this time. Stay at home. Oh, what a shake and bake. Slipped 3 tackles, in fact, but he's finally run down just outside the 25-yard line. Pretty good return by Stone after he dropped that ball.
Yeah, he was able to make something out of what could have been a disaster for Plymouth that time.
Yeah, I mean, if they pin him inside the 15-yard line after that turn of events and taking back the momentum, I think if you're Trinity, you are fired up right there and ready to play some snarling defense.
Oh, 100% agree. That's when you step up, and as they say, you turn the dogs loose.
All right, I like that. All right, we're at 5:20. It's 29-21 here at Derryfield Park, and the hometown Trinity Pioneers are taking care of business right here. And one way to do that is gang tackle. They're reacting like it was a fumble. It might have been, but I think it's going to stay. Yep, they're saying it was down. So, yeah, the ball did hit the turf, but it stays with the Bobcats. And, boy, a second turnover in a row would have been very difficult.
Yeah, that could have been.
I won't say the dagger, but difficult.
That could have been a backbreaker.
All right, no gain after that fumble. Second down at 10. Clock continues to run. We're at 4:50 here in our third at Derryfield Park. Winner gets the winner of Souhegan Pelham, and as we said earlier on, it was Souhegan. The Sabres were up big over the Pythons, 27-7. at Sauhegan's Field. Here we go, another keeper, this time from the shotgun. And the QB/FB fullback, Sanborn, gets himself another nice chunk of yardage. They probably needed a little bit of, I won't even say breathing room because you're not at that point on the field, but you feel like you can get some yardage at some points.
Yeah, you want to try and make it as manageable as possible, especially on third down here now. So that way you weren't looking at 3rd and 10 or worse. Now you've got 3rd and 6. A lot better plays for 6 yards than there are for 10.
Let's say they get 4 and they get 4th and 2. Are we going for it? We'll play ball first. Don't need to when you got that guy, Valente. He runs into the ref, and he keeps going. Look at him. Wriggle, rip, bite, tear. The Tasmanian Devil, wearing number 23, rips off a nice big gain, gets all the way out to the 45-yard line. I think they really, really, you're glad to have it, but you also really needed that one at that moment.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think if he hadn't run into the official, he might have been able to pop that for an even bigger gain.
Well, official's part of the field. Just ask Lamar Jackson that. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Looking to recreate some momentum of their own, trailing by 8 after that 2-point conversion at their own 45-yard line. And here we go back to that quarterback sneak, this time getting only about a couple or maybe 3 yards. Yeah, he gained 3, got out to the 48, make it 2nd down and 7 as we drift down to the 3:05 mark here.
Yeah, still positive yards on 1st down.
Absolutely.
Very rarely have we seen today where Plymouth has not gotten anything on 1st down. And that sets you up good going forward in the series.
And time and again, it has been that sort of play, or at least the dive of some sort has been setting up their running guard and tackle plays. And even the center, I mean, he can move. They go Valente right up the gut. Why not play old school? Valente coughs up the ball, and it looked like initially the mystery man, number 32, fell on the ball.
Yeah, Valente was trying to say that he was down, but I didn't notice that. He got popped pretty good from the sides, and the ball squirted out. It was a nice inside trap play, quick trap. He made a big run out of it, and the officials are conferencing on whether he was down or not.
I mean, my LASIK surgery is holding up pretty well, and I mean, we had a clear view. It looked like his knee had not been down, but that's what the refs are there for. I'm a card-carrying ref, and it's a thankless job at times, and more power to him. It's a hard thing to do, and it is a fumble, as we thought. Well.
Yeah, when you see multiple beanbags on the field like that, it's pretty certain that it was a fumble.
That means you got multiple sets of eyes on the same play, and they're in concurrence.
Yes.
But good reffing. They had a conclave, discussed it, made sure they're on the same page. Also, you want to get the yard marker right, and it is 1st and 10. Pioneers have the ball back with successive 3 turnovers in a short time span. 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Probably feeling pretty good about things. And now Service loses the ball. He got stripped from behind. Wow, the hand that giveth taketh away. Coach,
yes.
What do you think? This is bonkers.
Yeah, it's almost like, both teams may be, feeling a little bit of nerves. I don't know if they're squeezing the ball a little extra tightly, or, the defense is just stepping up and trying to grab for the football. But, for Plymouth, it's a net 0, so to speak, where, this is where Valente was down, or would have been down on the previous carry, and Service got hit from behind, like you said. He got it stripped from behind, and now Plymouth is back in business.
Well, both teams probably feeling a bit like they're dodging a speeding bus. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Bobcats have the ball. They hand it off yet again to the good runner Chiotti, but this time he's ganged up, clogged up in the middle. The surge led by Mateo on the inside. Good job by Trinity. And it looks like he gained about a yard. Yep, they give him a yard, so make it 2nd down and 9 at the 37-yard line. 2:10 on the clock, which is rolling here in our third quarter. Fast-moving third quarter, Coach.
Yeah. When you run, the clock keeps moving.
Yep. Turnovers notwithstanding.
Turnovers notwithstanding, but it shortens the game. whoever's running the ball controls the clock.
Oh, good defense. I'll tell you what, lateral pursuit from the backside by Foden, and we talked about him in the first quarter, and Coach Cathcart really said he's one of those heart and soul guys. Plays, I asked, who's an unsung hero? He said him, because he laterally pursues, huge heart.
Yes.
And just plays that way.
Yeah, Foden that time, great play, and had help from Dominic DeTone over the top on that. That's what you want to see. One guy, if you can't make the stop, you hold him up and let your other guys come in and clean out the play.
Team defense is a good thing. Move the sticks only about a yard and a half. It's on the 35-yard line. And here goes none other than Russo. And he spins away from service and company, and he rolls himself down inside the 20. Looks like he's got it about down to the 18-yard line. We'll get the official spot in a moment. At 1:02, the clock stops while they move the sticks. First down and 10. We are in the red zone.
Yeah, that was a nice counterplay by Plymouth that time. Fake the run to the left as they've been doing all game, and give it back to Russo coming back on the right side, and there was nobody there.
Well, the old LASIK surgery is holding up. It's precisely at the 18-yard line. All right, first and 10. We're at 43 seconds here in our third quarter. This has been a fantastic game, and as they have so often, the Bobcats go right back to that quarterback sneak, going right over Libby at the center spot. It's been paying off for them all game long, Coach.
Yeah, it has been. Here's another 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain.
A long 4 yards, yeah.
Yeah, and that's good for Plymouth because only one person's touching the ball. You don't have to worry about a mishandle on a handoff or a missed pitch or anything like that.
And that's probably going to get us out of our third quarter, and it sure does. Plymouth are going to go walk as a team, as a group to the sidelines, get some words from Coach Chris Sanborn, and the Pios go back to talk to Coach Cathcart and company. Wild third quarter.
Yes. Wild to say the least.
And fun.
Yeah, very fun. The turnovers, the scores. And it's been a good game. Can't wait to see what this fourth quarter has to offer. Both teams have had their moments, and Plymouth is trying to come back and tie the game now with this drive.
Yeah.
We'll see what Trinity can do to step up and try to stop it.
Well, it's fun if you're a football fan, but I say the Bobcats fans are to our left. We're right. I'm literally on the 50-yard line. The Pioneers fans are to our right. I got to talk to some folks down at halftime, and particularly Coach Colby Moore, who's an assistant for Coach Sanborn over there. Nice folks, and exciting, but I think the blood pressure is rising for the parents and families over there.
It is, and looking out across, it looks like there's quite a Plymouth contingent over on the hillside behind their bench.
Oh yeah.
This is a great atmosphere for high school football.
This is my first football game here. I've done lacrosse, and boy, I hope it's not my last. I mean, this is a great time, fun venue, and it's so pretty here today. You can see the mountains off to our west, and just well done by both schools, particularly the Trinity staff setting things up, getting us all hooked up.
Oh, yeah, it's a great venue and a great game by both sides. So, it's going to be sad that it has to end, but, we'll enjoy it for what we have left for the next 12-plus minutes.
All right, Manchester Public Television bringing you this excellent D2 semi. Rich McDonough and the coach, Dale Motz. This one goes over the head of Sanborn. He's forced to dive on the football as you had a fast closing J.P. Farron. And another Dodge bus right there, Coach.
Yeah, that would have been huge. Now you're in a 3rd and 15, but it's 3rd and 15. He avoided the turnover. Now try to get half of it back or so, a little more than half if you can, and play for 4th down. Yeah,
they said he actually lost 7 right there. They backed it up to the 25-yard line, so we got 3rd down and 17 from there at the 11:15 mark here in our 4th quarter. Sanborn's under center, got one back behind him. That's Valenti. He misses his chip block, but maybe that was wow. Perfect setup for that misdirection screen right there. Unable to hang on to it, and
yeah,
boy.
that was a great tight end screen setup. Looked like Cooper Mack, number 81. The
Yeah,
tight
it was
end,
Cooper Mack.
tried to turn up field just a little too quickly, but that would have been a big gain for Plymouth.
That's one where we talked about it in the second quarter when I likened it to the old Jerry Rice stop action photos. Just look it in, know you got it, and then go.
Right.
He was looking upfield. He was ready to make a move already.
He was reading his block, ready to go, and
well, I coached young boys, teenage boys forever who didn't look into their sticks. And I always say that's why my hair is gray, Coach. And it's not age, it's not genetics.
right.
All right, here we go. Whoa.
42-yard field goal.
42-yard field goal. I know he's got a big leg, does Stone, but how big is it? We're going to find out. Snap is perfect. Kick is long. Looks like it might have it.
Good.
It just went wide. Went wide to the right. He had the distance.
Definitely had the distance.
I think, it's probably we couldn't see it from our side view here, but maybe a foot wide.
Yeah.
That's a big leg for high school.
It is. And weird that the official didn't make any other signal other than touchback.
Yeah, usually you have it, kind of like
they'll signal whether it's good or which way it missed, but all he did was just signal a touchback.
You get the sweeping motion a la, remember Airplane?
Yes.
With the fork, where's the forklift? And he waves with both flashlights over there. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line after that missed field goal and touchback. 10:56 on the clock. The Pios are up 29-21. We got a whistle right there. Maybe somebody called a TO?
Timeout Trinity.
Yeah, interesting timeout.
Looks like they were missing somebody
on
the
offense. Yeah, I think they had a personnel decision. Looked like Farron hadn't gotten into the play. He's got his head down, and that's precisely what it is.
Yeah, Trinity came out in the offset eye that time. It looked like they were going to try and grind some time off the clock. Unfortunately, didn't have enough players on the field and had to burn a timeout.
That kind of hurts sometimes. But, you're coaching out there. Your players got to get out there, and it's a critical moment in the game, and you got a man missing in action.
Yes.
But you got to keep your cool as a coach and just keep coaching, right?
Yes.
It's not the time for lectures or what have you. Doesn't help at this point. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line after that TO. That was their first three. Yep. Interesting. Yeah, haven't seen that set all game. We got some holding right there. DeRepo. It looked like Logan Marsh had a fistful of his jersey, and they wanted a call. They're not spending a whole lot of time debating it, though. So got to keep moving. Again, as I just said, got to keep coaching.
Yeah. He had a little bit of jersey. They're letting him play a little bit on the outside. Lucky the ball wasn't picked off.
Yeah, right. And it was floating a bit.
Yeah, it went right through the hands of number 15.
Here comes the toss. I knew that was coming. Could see it coming from a mile away. Good job coming up in coverage by the Trinity the Python. Gosh, I was just reading the out-of-town scoreboard. The Bobcat secondary came up in coverage from their jams.
Yeah.
Good job clogging that up.
Yeah, Cooper Legacy and Ben Valenti coming up to make that stop.
Well, update from Sauhegan in the fourth. I can't tell how deep into the fourth it is, but it is now the Sabres, 47-14. Well, we know who's going to be waiting the winner of this game. And that game, I believe, is going to be at Pinkerton Academy next Saturday. Always a good place to play a game.
Yes.
Up on the hilltop there. Can get mighty breezy, to say the least. As I said, I called the D2 final last year, and it was a cold day, and but still, and I've been there many times as a BG parent, and it gets icy late in the year.
Oh, I can imagine. I haven't been to Pinkerton, but just hearing the stories of it.
Now it's legendary. Okay, they're on a roll right now, by the way, in their D1 playoff run, much like they did last year. All right, it's 4th down and 3. Trinity's going for it. Oh, quick kick. Haven't seen that in a long time, and that's a good call right there. This thing knuckles, kind of dies, though, at the 36-yard line. But reasonable play right there.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Great punt by Ollie.
And you don't want to give these speed guys for Plymouth a chance at a good return.
Correct.
And we know they're a good blocking team.
Correct. So, you keep Plymouth defense out on the field. You keep them playing as a defense, make them think that you're going to go for it, and then just hit them over the top with a quick kick.
I tell you, Coach Cathcart and staff are calling a gem today.
Yes, they are.
Good job. Well, we're at 9:19 in an exciting semifinal. The winner of this one is going to probably, unless some miracle or travesty occurs, depending on who you are, take on the Souhegan Sabres, who are defending their title in New Hampshire D2 football. There's a good handoff backside, taking it around is Marsh, and he fumbles it, and we got another one.
The linesman on
side
the far
judge
side is saying down.
That's Coretta over there. We got an experienced crew. She had eagle eyes right on it and says he was down. Wow, the excitement was erupting on the near sidelines, courtesy of the Pioneers. That would have been hard to ignore, with a potential final score in action right there, Coach.
That could have been backbreaking.
Yep. All right, well, it stays. That ball, our butt Pete Terrier just said what I was going to say, and we said it earlier. That ball is starting to get almost waxy, slippery.
Yeah, as the leather gets cold, it gets harder to handle.
And the temperature is dropping steadily right now. There's a misdirection, and here comes Valente. Nice cutback, gets himself outside the 50 and into Trinity territory. They're going to mark him down at the 49-yard line.
And Malith saved probably a touchdown on that play.
Absolutely. And as we've seen, the big guy, even though big churning fullback-style runner, he's got some wheels once he gets out into space.
He does. And, Malith was holding on to his waist and his leg, not letting him get those strides going, and was able to stop it for the gain that it was and not allow it to get any bigger.
All right, the Bobcats, first down and 10 inside Trinity territory. 49-yard line, 7:59 and ticking on the clock. And the fellas for the Bobcats weren't get set. That's a darn good timeout right there by the coach, Chris Sanborn.
It is.
He bailed his fellas out, don't you think?
He absolutely did. When there's that much confusion in this situation, take your timeout, regroup, get things ready, and then, let's play 1st and 10 to go again.
That's what timeouts are there for. You need them when you need them, and you got to bail your guys out. Get to the sideline, hit the reset switch. Also, a good time for a pep talk. It's a critical moment in the game.
Right. Settle your guys down. Let them know, hey, it's a one-score game. All we got to do is, what we've been doing all year, get the ball in the end zone, and, we'll play from there.
And, look, they know they can get touchdowns with the best of them, but you're looking at a 2-point conversion, and if I'm the coach, I'm saying, hey, we're one of the best short yardage teams in the state.
Right.
So be of good cheer, fellas, right?
Right.
All right, 1st and 10. Good timeout by Coach Sanborn. 49-yard line. Here we go. Bobcats looking to create. And turning around, heading out to Russo. He goes around right side, slips a tackle, gets inside the 40. Looks like almost a face mask, nothing doing, no call. But the churning running back, great run, rips off 18 yards right there and broke about 2 or 3 tackles that look like sure things.
Yeah, great run that time by Russo. Power running like you said. This is where getting towards the end of the game, that run game starts to wear on the defense.
Absolutely.
And those tackles that were made earlier, they get harder to make.
All right, he gets down to the 31-yard line. The sticks move, 1st and 10, and the clock moves to 7:47. All right, Sanborn's under center for a rare trip, hands it off to Valente. And there he is again, diving for an extra 2 yards after the initial contact. Boy, I bet you his, even on the short runs, his yards after contact probably piled up to about 20, 25 yards just from that.
Probably pretty close. I definitely have to agree with that. Connor Bishop came in from his linebacker spot to make the tackle, and Valente just went right over top to get another yard at least.
Yeah, he picked up 3 when there looked like there wasn't a whole lot doing. So 2nd down and a short 7 as we tick down to the 7:05 mark here in our 4th quarter. Valente one more time. He goes right side this time. And look at the big fella just taking people with him. He's going to flirt with the 1st down marker. We'll see what they say. Yeah, she's moving. Coretta's moving that sticks.
Moving the sticks.
Excellent
first
side,
down,
Judge.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. And that'll be yet another first down. And Coach Sanborn, good timeout. Clearly they came out with a game plan. And as you said, Coach, focused.
Right. Settle the troops down, get them refocused, and back into what the goal is.
And so far it's paying off. But what has been the bugaboo in this second half has been that rock getting out of people's possession. So
yes.
Knock on wood. All right, in motion go Cats. The Bobcats. That's Russo goes around right side, and there he is again, churning through traffic, taking tacklers with him. Yeah, and what looked like he was going to be stopped for 2, no dice.
Right, what looked like stop for 2, maybe even 0, ends up being a 5-yard gain.
All right, Rousseau doing his part to drive the Bobcats downfield. Ball is at the 16-yard line. We are in the red zone now. Second down, and we'll call it a long 5 as we hit the 6-minute mark here at Derryfield Park. Lucky us, it's been a great game between two well-coached teams. Different styles of offenses and defenses. A lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Sanborn goes over middle. Look at that pile move backwards. And you said it, Coach, over and again. Excellent team blocking schemes by this Bobcat team, and eventually the interior of that D-line gets tired.
Yes, it just wears on you.
Yep.
What Plymouth does is, just that. They run you, they block you, they lay on you, and by this time in the game, the more plays they get on offense, the worse it is.
Yep. And case in point, the big fella, Dylan Gartside, just came out, big D-line fella, and he's taking getting himself some oxygen over there. All right, under center goes Sanborn, following his blocks beautifully goes Valente, wrestled down to the ground, but not before he hit the second and third level in a hurry, Coach.
Yeah, he got through, followed his blockers very patiently, and now it's first and goal, looks like from the 3.
And I tell you, Cam Magoon, number 54 inside, he was going downfield. He was at the second level. And again, IQ blocking, they know where their keys are, the linebackers, and they'll kind of like team block or zone block, maybe a little bit of a reach play right there to get that gap.
Yeah, what they do is their front side will block back, and then they'll pull their backside lineman around on a counter, so that they have the good blocking. And Valente has been very patient all day and waiting for those blocks to set up.
All right, first and goal at the 3. Give it to the big guy. He goes over, takes care of business. Number 23 gets 6. And we are in striking distance if you are Plymouth. 4:25 on the clock, and after that 3-yard TD run and a really good drive, it is 29-27. I think we know what's coming, Coach. All right, so they set the ball up at the 3, which is how they do 2-point conversions at the high school level. We're used to seeing the 2-yard line in the NFL. But as we just saw, anybody on this team can get 3 yards just like that.
Right, and it looked like there was a little bit of confusion on the Plymouth sideline over the
they might call it TO.
Yeah, they need to. Back judge was counting down on the play clock. There was an issue with the football.
What, a kicking ball versus
exactly
K-ball versus play ball.
Exactly. As soon as the touchdown scored, the ball boy on the Plymouth side ran out and switched the ball as they were deciding whether to go for 2 and what to do. And then there was confusion over what ball should be on the field. And
got to get your ball boy in the coaching huddle at these moments, I guess.
Right.
Hey, it's critical.
It absolutely is.
And for folks that don't know, those K-balls, the kicking balls, they have a different kind of compression, a different kind of surface, and it's unique for the kicking game versus kind of the tackier feel. You put the bar, quarterbacks like to scrape that with the bar and that sort of thing. So they get that thing corrected, but a good timeout because you got to get this right. You have to get this right. All right, moment of truth here. 2-point conversion upon us. And under center was under center was Logan Marsh. He fights with it, He did not get in. The gang tackle, everybody coming up in coverage. That's an interesting play call.
Yeah. Not sure I would have put Marsh at the quarterback position on that play with the way that Sanborn has been running
up the gut
on the quarterback sneaks.
Yeah, I mean, it's been emphatic when they pull and determinedly run.
Yeah, I think it took that option. Yeah, I think it took that option away. But still, it's 2-point game with 4.5 minutes, just under 4.5 minutes to go. So still a lot of time left for the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Now their defense has to step up.
Yeah, the good defense. Obviously, Pioneers have an explosive offense, but this is why playoff football is so awesome.
Oh, it is absolutely. 2-point game. This is what you want. You don't want the blowouts. You want the good, tight, strategic games like this.
And Derryfield and Meath are back deep for the Pioneers.
And looking at Trinity, they don't have enough players on the field. They've only got 10 guys.
Yeah, and they got to call a timeout. Good eye, eagle-eye coach. That is a football coach right there. Always counting numbers. I'm always counting from the back forward in lacrosse to make sure we got our 11, or 10, excuse me. I was just doing a ton of field hockey. And then coming onto the field late, obviously, was Thomas Lamb, and he gets out. Boy, that drives you a little nutty in crunch time when you have to burn a timeout for personnel.
Yes, it does.
And that was their second timeout for personnel.
Yes.
And I can hear Coach going, why are you not out there?
Here's the kickoff by Stone.
All right, Stone puts that big foot in there. He's really good with it. It's like a sand wedge almost. Good placement right there. Oh, Derryfield gets – holy cow.
Great play that
Fantastic right there by Bargwin.
Bargwin with the shoestring tackle because Derryfield had the corner and a convoy walled off. He might have been able to break that with the way the blocking was set up.
Yeah, no kidding, Coach. It was near side. I think it was a 7-on-4.
Right.
In front of him, not including him. And, boy, he doesn't get that. Yeah. Who knows how far he would have gone. Nevertheless, the ball is on the 19-yard line. I'm looking directly into the sun. 4:20 on the clock here at Derryfield Park in a scintillating D2 semifinal between second seed Trinity and third seed Plymouth. Oh, ball hits the turf, and Trinity falls on top of it, flirting with disaster. And yet again, the dropsies have hit us in the second half. It has made it for a more exciting game, that's for sure.
Yeah, that time they tried to hand off to Dominic DeTone and didn't get it clean. Ball got on the turf, and luckily he was able to fall on it.
We were talking about blood pressure earlier. I got to say, Coach Cathcart, with the personnel issues and the dropsies, his blood pressure's got to be way up there right now. Okay, second down. It was a loss of 2 on that drop, so make it 2nd and 12, and that backs us up to just inside the 18-yard line. 3:36 on the clock. And a little bit of confusion again. Generated confusion. Service comes near side, goes all the way down the sidelines. Looks like he got taken. He was in bounds at the 28 or 29-yard line. I think they gave him the 28, Coach.
Yeah, that was a good bootleg play that time. Service came around the right corner, and there was nobody there. And great pursuit by Plymouth to be able to shut him off.
It almost looked like they were confused, but maybe they were selling it, If so, give them an acting lesson too. This one gets stuffed for nothing. Trinity is saying it's a first down. Connor Bishop's in there pointing that way. I don't know.
No, I don't think he got anything on that.
Wishful thinking, courtesy of Bishop. And the refs whistle that down. Might have gotten a yard. Far side yard marker, they give him to the almost the 29-yard line. So it looks like
they had to get to the 29 from here.
We might have a measurement coming.
Yeah, they're going to measure, and he looks short from here.
You got to get out your laser level. So here come the chains. This is a meaningful measurement, to say the least. 2:53 on the clock. Trinity up 2 points, courtesy of that their 2-point conversion and the missed 2-pointer. So that 2-point conversion option that Coach Cathcart exercised on that last touchdown, turning out to be a gem.
Yeah, it was, taking advantage of the penalty. And,
yep.
Again, still not sure what that was on the call, but, it worked out to Trinity's benefit. They were able to get the 2 points, and that, like you said, that is the difference in the game so far.
So little things like that change the nature, the trajectory of the game. And as we've said, Coach Cathcart is putting together an excellent game plan. And, aside from a couple of miscues, which is a natural part of the game, well executed by the Pios.
Absolutely. They came in and
Here we go.
They flipped the script from what happened back in late September.
All right, inches to go. Monster 4th down play right there. Everybody jammed up inside for the Bobcats. Power eye, as Coach said earlier. Do they get him to try to jump? They finally wind clock. That's what they're waiting for. And twitching at the line of scrimmage were Trinity. A couple of guys were moving. And it looked like, couldn't see, we got a.
It looked like on the right side of the Trinity offensive line, somebody flinched.
Looks like it might have been Mateo on the inside. And that, I thought it was puntable anyway at this point in the game and at that point in the field. But now there's no question, you got to go, and here's the punting team.
Right. And I'm not sure why the clock is running here after the penalty, but.
Yeah, they're yelling at the clock operator right now. And it's not having the effect. Yeah, and I got to tell you, the Plymouth fans are going bonkers right now.
Oh, nearly blocked.
Boy, that was a mile high, too. Nobody over there. Ow, what a great bounce for Trinity. Knuckling inside the 35-yard line, wobbling all the way down to the 33. Fortuitous bounce, but good punt placement.
Yeah, nearly blocked, and it was a great punt, great roll.
But that clock rolled off about 25 seconds right there, Coach.
I would say it probably rolled off more than that.
Yeah, I'm being generous.
Probably close to a minute. With the penalty, the clock should have not run.
Well, a game of interesting miscues, some great running and passing, and now we got clock issues as well. We've had it all.
Yes.
There's one for the ages here. All right. Plymouth trailing by 2, 2:08 on the scoreboard, 1st and 10. Ball's at the 33. Give it off to the big fella. He sheds 3 blocks, takes Betty for a Nantucket sleigh ride, and over the 45-yard line he goes. That'll move the chains, and the clock stops briefly at the 2:03 mark.
Yeah, for Plymouth, just stay with what you do. For Trinity, you gotta stop and keep them inbounds.
I think they shorted him a yard there, but the refs set the ball down at the 45-yard line. Under center, give it off to the big guy again. He rumbles out to the 50-yard line, dragging some Trinity players with him. Everybody getting up quickly off that carpet.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah, Plymouth is running quickly.
Got like a Plymouth Duster with the old 440 engine in it. Gotta go. Oh, spinning away, Valenti spins out of a tackle. I thought he had a sure thing, did Foden. Nothing doing. And the big guy gets 5 more.
First down stops the clock while they set the chains.
1:33 on the clock, down 2 are the Bobcats.
And both teams with 1 timeout left.
And here we go back to that quarterback sneak. I think they were going early. Yeah, they're going to reach for a flag. Yep, here we go. Side judge saw it.
It was an illegal formation.
With a minute 22 remaining in the game. That'll knock them back 5 yards.
Wow.
And that'll back them up to midfield.
Yeah, the first down marker's at the 45 even. So this will be 50-yard line. We've got 1:22 on the clock. Wow. So it was a false start.
Yeah, the wide receiver at the top of the screen wasn't set.
Got to get set for that one beat before you snap it.
And if you're Trinity here, you got to watch for the pass. We haven't seen it in a while.
And Valenti gets another one. He drives forward for about 7-8 yards. They give him 8. And he gets down to the 42-yard line, but the clock is running down. We're going to hit a minute before this ball gets snapped. 2nd down and 7 at the 42. Plymouth trailing by 2. Back, there goes Sanborn trying to put it in the air. Go airborne does Sanborn. Couldn't find Legacy going down the field. He was nicely covered high and low by both safeties right there. Pretty good coverage. And you only had one receiver in true formation right there, even though you had a motion man going to the flats right there.
Yeah, they were looking for Legacy all the way on that.
And they were looking for the safeties to bite
Right.
on that the fake jet sweep underneath. Reasonable play, but good patient, disciplined defense by Trinity right there. All right, clock stops after that incomplete, 53.3, and yeah, the .3 matters at this point in the game. All right, 3rd down and 7, obviously 2-down territory. Back to the air goes Sanborn. This one has a chance if he gets over the top. Stone can't get there. Good coverage by Trinity yet again. Boy, they're stepping up when they need to most, Coach.
Yes, they are. Davey DiRepo out there on the outside, just
How can you see that far?
catching them as they come back.
Yeah. Dale Mounts had LASIK surgery more recently than I did. All right, this is it, folks. 48.7 on the clock. 4th down and 7 at the Trinity 42-yard line. The Bobcats trail by 2. Winner is going to get Salhegan next week at Pinkerton. For all the marbles right here, big-time defense, big-time O. Here we go. Backside great. Staying home. Staying home, baby. Connor Bishop gets the job done. And that ought to do it for us, right, Coach?
That will do it. Connor Bishop, like you said, staying home, read the backside screen, and stopped it for a loss.
You had 3, like a sail route on the far side right there. Nice looking at guys at all 3 levels, and it was designed all the way to go backside. But yeah, great discipline right there by Bishop, eh?
Yeah, it was great discipline by Bishop. Kind of a slow developing play coming back. And,
Oh yeah.
You know, he stayed patient, stayed with it. Saw Rousseau coming back out to his side, and just broke on it immediately.
Well, the World Series called that way, but we saw a fall classic here today, Coach.
Yes, we did, and now the best formation in football for Trinity.
Victory formation. They're going to burn their last timeout. Will the Bobcats? You got to do it with the way the balls hit the carpet. You got to.
Right.
Don't go to the locker room in a tight game with timeouts in pocket.
Right. You got to extend the game as any way you possibly can in this situation.
Well, this has been back and forth, really exciting. We just called it a fall classic. Early on, Plymouth looked like it was doing what it came to do, what it has done all season, which was grind it out and had exciting plays. And then they struck pay dirt early, 7-zip, and then Trinity bounced back hard. Great answer with 3 touchdowns of their own. And then Plymouth got a touchdown to make it 21-14 at the half. And then leveled it early in the 3rd quarter. And then that nice 2-point conversion after a TD made it 29-21, changed the path of the game.
It did, and
the turnover bug hit.
Yeah, the turnover bug for both teams in the second half, but the big thing was that 2-point conversion, and that's the difference in the game.
Well, the clock's at 30. They give you 40 play to play, so I think this might run us out here.
Yeah, that's going to run us out.
Yep, and the hands are up for Trinity already. The crowd is buzzing. Valiant effort by the 3rd seed Plymouth Bobcats after they wiped this team out 46-14 on September 20th. But that's why we play a season teams grow, they mature, they evolve, they learn their personnel, and it becomes a different package at the end of the year.
It does, and Trinity came in with a great game plan today. They watched the film from September, made their adjustments that they needed to make, and were able to come out on top today.
I got to tell you, our inaugural run together, Coach Dale Mounts, I hope we get to do more. I've had a blast.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
And we got Isaac with eyes on the field for us.
Yes, sir.
Nice to have a young pair of eyes giving us the correct numbers all game long. Well, Manchester Public Television got to bring you a gem today, this D2 semifinal, the hometown, home field. Trinity Pioneers are going to go forward, and they will end up in the championship game, earn their way to the championship game against the Souhegan Sabres. That'll be at Pinkerton Academy. The NHIAA website will have the time. I think it was advertised at 1 o'clock, but it shifts frequently as we get deeper into the playoffs.
Right, it can. Yeah. More than likely Trinity against Souhegan. Again, seeing Souhegan and how dominant they've been all year, Trinity's going to have their work cut out for them.
Work cut out. They got Mike Fiengo, great player at quarterback there, and then all-state runner in Radalenas. And I will say, Coach Fiengo in Amherst Patriots coached my son Mike McDonough before he went to BG. There's a lot of good lineage right there for the Souhegan Sabres. Excellent, well-coached team here for Rob Cathcart, and he knows he's happy. Look, Manchester Public Television, we brought you the game of the year so far. This has been Rich McDonough with the coach, Dale Mounts. For Nick Sands, who's producing here at the field, handling our technical difficulties with grace and giving me a chance to run the camera for the first time. And for our friend Kyle Heavey setting us all up, and Jason Cody, executive director, back in the shop. Rich McDonough, one more time, it has been a pleasure to be with you this season. This is our last game of the year here, and we look forward to seeing you down the road for winter sports. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you down the road.